Hi friends, it's Friday, November 7th, 2014. Beautiful numbers, auspicious numbers. We're to offer ourselves in service to trigger the awakening whose time has come in the most basic of basic intentions. And with that, it begins.
I see that rehearsal room.
Right, I feel like I just fell down onto the floor of the rehearsal room.
Like early morning. I don't see anyone else in there.
No. It's time to set up the chairs in the circle and tend the energy. If we do this right, then when everyone else shows, this rehearsal has the best chance of success. And the chairs are they're knocked out of place. These
it's like they're all akimbo.
It's easy, actually. It's like the room itself is telling us where the chairs should go. And again, I'm put in mind of what Grandma Yu's grandfather said to us, is how he said to us when we were just a little girl, that this instrument is alive and she will tell you what to do. And I'm realizing that this is, after all, the instrument. We're setting up the instrument and she is telling us what to do.
That's true.
She's saying, put the legs of the chairs right here, right here, right here. And I can tell that right here is where the number 1 chair goes, and 2 and 3 and 4 and all the way around to number 100, right next to number 1. And now we need to finish sweeping up the floor. Like really, it also has to be swept.
That's true.
And these chairs need to be wiped down. They're dirty and dusty.
The whole room has kind of a film.
It's dirty. This room is dirty, and this is not okay. And you know what this puts me in mind of is when Grandma Yu was tending her harp, and she would give the strings some very special care, maybe just 3 strings at a sitting, taking her time and rubbing in an emollient is the word I'm getting into the strings. So whatever that emollient represents, we can rub it into the chairs as well, to take pleasure in the process of preparing a room for a sacred activity. This is service to Source, to properly prepare a room for sacred activity. And so we sweep carefully, and we dust the walls
and
first.
The windows.
Clean the windows until they sparkle. Maybe that's why you thought it was snowing outside, because these windows are filthy. I'm glad we have several hours before rehearsal. We can get it, maybe we can get it to where it looks acceptable, because this matters too.
This matters.
I asked about the rest of the building, and they said, the rest of your building is not your priority right now.
That's true.
Tend this space first. Pens lined up for the forms. There's like a release form we have to sign. And the measuring tapes and calipers, measuring instruments all set up here for the measurers, and their place made nice so that they take pride in their work as well. The measurers have an important job. They do. They ensure that the strings are in the right place so the instrument plays appropriately. If we have a long string in a short string spot, Grandma Yu will hit a false note.
It's true.
And we get changed out of our cleaning clothes and get like really clean. People are starting to arrive. I see familiar people coming through the lobby. I'm just standing up to be measured. The story that I'm making up is that some of those people who said, if he is here, I'm not here, have
My
chosen...
story is they just didn't come back.
That would be okay. This is why we have...
The me's.
The me's. This is why we have a room full of understudies. So that people who have issues with working in harmony with others are not a part of the equation. And that those who are here are working in harmony. So shall we find our seats? Ooh.
It's like a combination of stretching and vocal warm-up and instrumental warm-up.
And meditation, energy warm-up, just totally warming up.
Harp string.
I feel like a string. It's like I feel like I can stretch the strand of me. Now the wave of people is starting to come in more and more, and some of them are arguing with the measurers. So, you know, this is a pattern that we're noticing, is people want to think that they are different than they are, And this is common. It's hard to see our own stuff. It's impossible to see our own stuff. And sometimes when we're confronted with the inconvenient truth that we aren't as great as we think we are, we want to argue with it. But on the other hand, if we don't argue with it, we can just say, wow, I was a lot better when I was measured yesterday than today. What happened between then and now to cause me to shrink? Then it's actually beautiful is to have this opportunity of realizing, wait a minute, I must have taken a wrong turn somewhere because I have dropped 20 chairs. Now in an orchestra, to drop 20 chairs
is a huge deal.
Big bad deal. Well, they're still grumbling. Now look, friends, we're forming strands of a harp. Our role is to play as pieces of a wholeness.
That's true.
To be part of a oneness, to work in harmony with each other. All of us must share this mindset or it will not work well. If you can't share the mindset, you are choosing to render yourselves, it's something like unqualified. You're choosing to disqualify yourselves. Now, if until somebody else steps up to proctor this, I will do it. Now, I'm sure there are many people much better qualified than I am, but until somebody else steps up to do it, I will do it. And so I'm walking around and I'm doing an attitude check. Now, friends, you can get a second opinion. Ask someone else. Ask that blonde-haired woman. Yes.
Yeah.
She's a good person to check attitudes. She and I can work like we can be opposite of each other going around the room.
Yes.
And verify each other's work.
Yes.
Other people, anybody who wants to be an attitude monitor can apply to that woman with the clipboard out front. Ask the woman at the clipboard out front, would I be acceptable to you as an attitude monitor until someone else better qualified shows up?
Yes.
Blonde woman seems to have said the same thing.
Would I be acceptable to you as an attitude monitor until somebody better shows up?
So now you're on it too, right? Well, the three of us are kind of rotating the room, just checking.
Person.
And if somebody gets 3 marks on their head, one from each of us.
I just gave the 3rd mark.
Yeah, so I'm sorry.
You're out.
You're out. And out for good. So friends, you can adjust your attitude before the 3rd attitude monitor gets to you. If you've gotten the 1st mark, consider now would be a good time to adjust the attitude. And friends, attitude monitors, check me.
Yes.
I could have a bad attitude. Please check my attitude.
Yes. Good. And the blonde woman. And check me.
I see good attitudes here.
I see good attitudes.
Ask the woman at the desk if there's anybody else better qualified to be an attitude monitor. We gratefully let them take the job. This isn't a really fun job because people aren't happy with us.
No.
However, someone needs to do it. And so until someone more qualified steps up to do it, I'll do it.
So far.
I'll do it. I'm willing.
I'll do it.
I'm willing. And 3 is good. Having a number of 3 is good. And I have a room full of understudies of me.
I got another person for the 3rd time.
Out
She's
you go.
making a scene.
Bouncer, security.
Oh, there they go.
Now there's a ruckus in the lobby. Can you hear it? I hear a big ruckus.
Big ruckus.
Big ruckus. Voices raised really loud.
If I were a betting person, I'd say somebody has arrived.
Someone has arrived. And in comes Loose with the number 100.
Boom.
It's such a huge margin between his number and everybody else's numbers.
And everyone is shitting their pants.
People are flipping out.
Flipping out.
And they're realizing how horrible they were to him yesterday and wishing that they had made a different choice yesterday. Many of them look as though they wish they could crawl under their chairs.
Yes. Or sink through the floor.
Sink through the floor or something. It's like when you realize you have just been a jerk to the President of the United States.
Right.
Because you didn't realize he was the President of the United States.
Right.
But now would be a really good time to adjust your stinking attitude.
That's true. And some of them do.
And some of them don't. It's free will. So now, tap, tap, tap. I hear the conductor's baton. Tap, tap, tap. Take your seats. Now is the time. And the oboe is playing the note to tune to, and we're all tuning. The conductor is just like running the up the scale of the harp. And now the first piece of music. It's that piece that we ended with yesterday, the one with the haunting tone.
The song of the heart.
The song of the heart. Here we go. Wow! Its rhythm is so unusual. It's a really tricky piece.
It is. And every string gets played in this piece.
Every string. Every string. It's unusual in a piece.
It's unusual.
And now the energy is starting to rise up the center, pump the bellows, merging. The proctors are walking around, reminding us, oh, target to target, or you are unstrung and floating in a fog of fantasy. Target to target, merging backwards, leaning in, left shoulder in. Chin level, but slightly tilted to the left. Lean in, whoa, hands back and down. Oneness chakras open, everyone. That's in a louder tone. Oneness chakras open, everyone. It's like the tempo started more slowly and the notes were more tentative, but now there's an urgency and it's building in a crescendo.
Sounds like a waterfall.
Now it does sound like a waterfall. Now it's coming from the top, like the waterfall notes, like from the top down. Like a tinkling of sounds from the shorter, tighter, higher pitched strings to the longer, lower pitched strings. That was great to play that song, that melody. Can we do that again?
Tap, tap, tap. Says this time with more feeling, or something like that.
That's something like that. Get our energy flowing right, or we're just fooling ourselves. Pump the bellows for this whole instrument. Clear it. Look how it's blasting up on Grandma's, up her throat and under her chin, and whoof, up go her channels, right on up. Wow. She's loving this piece.
Yes.
And so now we're playing it again. Wow. Wow, our time is up. How can that be?
No. Wow.
Oh, well,
Wow.
let's just finish this piece.
Yes.
Oh, feel that energy coming through us. Right on up through us, and right on up to Grandma You, and look how her channels just blow up.
And the fog goes whoosh.
And the fog goes whoosh. And her heart breathes a deeper breath. And her energy clears that much more.
Yes.
And now something has happened because it's after rehearsal. I missed something because people were packing up. Everybody's packing up and people are putting on their coats and getting ready to go outside. And
some people are apologizing to Luce.
They are. Let's go home.
Go home.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm so proud of you. You did.
You did great.
You did great.
You did great. Not at all surprised. Tomorrow's going to be an even better day. Let's go trigger ourselves an awakening!